Amazing information. I've got a lot slimmer. I could have told her that years ago. Stroke, reduced risk by ×3 with regular therapy. Note I'm using now this term therapy. You're thinking, what's he talking about, therapy? Exercise, in my opinion, should be a therapy provided by all doctors. By the way, I can see one or two people taking notes. I'm more than happy for you to use any of these slides yourself. Okay, we'll make copies available to you. It's actually on the hard disk here. And if you want free offer, you can use any of these slides. And some of the ones later you might prefer to use than these here. Yeah, you're very welcome to make use of them, and we can make arrangements to have them available to you. If it's difficult for you, write to me and I'll send you the full lot. But it should be here within the faculty. It is therapy. Exercise is something which every doctor should be talking about with their patients. In fact, if when you walk into a doctor's surgery, the doctor should be able to just close his eyes, just put his hands over his eyes like this and just say, stop smoking, start exercising and lose weight. Off you go. And that would increase the health of every nation in the world dramatically, if everyone did it. But of course they don't, and we'll come to that in a minute. Depression, very important. Mental illness is an issue which is very under-researched, but we find that exercise is equal to one form of psychotherapy and superior to another in treatment of moderate depression. And it's equally effective in time-limited and time-unlimited types of psychotherapy, meditation, relaxation, and group psychotherapy. So, by all means, go and have your psychotherapy if that's what you need, but at the same time take exercise, and you'll find the benefits are substantial. Anxiety, halves the risk by exercise. If you're anxious about something, go and exercise it and reduce it dramatically. Older people, not only older people, but osteoporosis, reduction in hip fractures by 50%. Hip fractures alone are costing your medical services an absolute fortune. If you could reduce them by 50% just by taking regular exercise, then it must be an incredibly valuable therapy. Intermittent claudication, I referred to that earlier, I called it peripheral vascular disease. Exercise has been shown to have a better outcome than arterial reconstruction. I hope there are not too many vascular surgeons here, because I don't want to put you out of work, but I can assure you you should combine, and we've demonstrated the benefits in some research work I referred to briefly earlier, by having a form of controlled, supervised exercise with people suffering from intermittent claudication or peripheral vascular disease. The benefits of exercise were major. Sadly, supervised exercise this was. Sadly, the National Health Service in England are not organised to provide that supervised exercise for these people. So at the end of our experiment, we could demonstrate the benefits, but nothing happened in terms of the general population. They just went back to normal treatment, and normal treatment, sadly, was to say, go home and do a bit of exercise. It's beneficial. Well, no one will do it if you tell them that. You have to actually involve them, engage with them, work with them, and then a number of areas that I can mention, ways of motivating people. I saw a lovely one, just to give an example, at a recent conference. And what someone had done, they'd taken a photograph using Google Earth or one of these things of the individual patient's house, right? They just photographed from the satellites this person's house, and got a map of the area around this person and showed them where they could walk around to get back to their house. And some people didn't realise they could actually walk out of the front door and walk around the block and come back and do some exercise. And they got them to actually involve and commit themselves. They're getting back to the insurance salesman, okay? I want a commitment out of you to walk around this map, which is actually starting from your house. And that's an example of the sort of simple things we can try and do to motivate people to be more active. Behavioural outcomes, other behavioural outcomes, better compliance and treatments for drugs and alcohol. People are suffering from those. Once again, exercise is something which is very important. Perhaps we should tell Amy Winehouse that. We'll move on. Back pain is not quite as clear-cut. There's a weak association with reduced back pain, but only weak in terms of exercise. No evidence of prevention, but the absenteeism rate for people with low back pain, if you take exercise, is dramatically reduced. And once again, notice I'm using this term therapy again because I do believe exercise is a form of therapy. And if you can reduce absenteeism, then you're going to save the country a phenomenal amount of money, because the cost of absenteeism from low back pain is running into hundreds of millions of dinars. Probably millions of dinars. This is an interesting one that not everyone's aware of, and it was a paper that was published about 40 years ago and has not been challenged since. But people who suffer from multiple sclerosis, daily therapy of exercise I'm talking about, once again, therapy means exercise, will maintain remission in this particular debilitating disease. Finally, the one we're now back to, the cardiovascular side, which I'm trying to maintain throughout this talk, in chronic heart failure. And this quotation is taken from the British Medical Journal, once again a respectable journal, not something I just made up. And it shows that mortality and admission to hospital are significantly reduced after exercise training in patients with chronic heart failure due to left ventricular systolic dysfunction. And that benefit was not restricted to any particular subgroup of patients, so it wasn't necessarily that people who were worse than others. So once again, the evidence is clearly there for the benefits of exercise. So this brings me now to the final and most important aspect. I'm sorry. Why isn't everyone exercising? Now, if I had time, I would get you all to write down, because you illustrated today that you're not exercising sufficiently, why you're not. You'd, I'm sure, produce a few clear statements, and I can guarantee that those statements would be the ones I'm going to show you now, because I've heard them all before, all right? There is nothing new, I've heard them all before. And here's the first one. I'm too fat, okay? I can't exercise because I'm too fat. Well, all I can say is rubbish. And you heard mention of Stephen Blair, haven't you, in the previous talk, okay? Stephen Blair is a great advocate of fitness being more important than fatness. I don't know if you know Stephen Blair, but he's quite a short, fat man. And I sometimes treat his results with a degree of suspicion, because I think as he's a short, fat man, he's likely to advocate that it's more important to be fit and not worry about being fat. But the fact of the matter is that there is some hard evidence to show that even if you're fat and you maintain fitness, then it can be beneficial. It's better not to be like this, of course. There's plenty of evidence to show that. But nonetheless, it's not impossible to exercise if you happen to be a little fat. I might get injured. Okay? Have you heard that one? Be ready for these, because these are the sort of things that people are going to say to you when you advocate exercise. Time and time again. Be ready for all of these and have the answers. Okay? I might get injured. Well, that guy's got a bit of an injury problem. I don't know if you can recognise it, but his right leg is an artificial leg. Okay? So he's pretty badly injured, I would say. But you might have noticed he's exercising. And if you don't think that is an artificial leg, let me just show you another picture. And I think that makes it even clearer. Okay? There are guys like this, and ladies, who are seriously injured, but are exercising very, very effectively. Some of these people would put us all to shame. All right? I don't know how many of you have climbed Everest recently, but there are people who climbed Everest who've got no sight, people who climbed Everest who've got no legs, and it's a pretty feeble excuse to say I might get injured in my view. Let's look at another one. I'm too old. All right? Very common excuse, oh, I'm too old. I see a few people being nudged in the audience. I hope you're not insinuating that people here are too old. Let's, this couple, they're not too old to exercise, they're enjoying an excellent form of exercise, namely dancing. I might get cold. Oh dear. You can exercise in the cold. What's the problem? People complain about the weather in my department sometimes, and we have a saying, don't we, Georgia? It's not bad weather, it's the wrong clothes. All right? As long as you've got the right clothes, you can exercise any time. Okay? This person obviously didn't take any notice of that. He just was prepared to exercise in spite of having any clothes. I might get wet and muddy. Oh dear. You can exercise and get wet and muddy. Now, this person here, which happens to be me, you may not recognise me. It was only a couple of years ago, but I've aged a lot since then. This is an event, you can see by the fact there's a number on my shirt, this is an event called the Tough Guy, which is held every January, whatever the weather is like. Okay? Now, January in England can be very cold. There have been times in the Tough Guy, I've done it 4 times, when I've had to break the ice to get through the underwater bits. All right? And you'll be pleased to hear that every one of my PhD students, before you all sign up to do a PhD with me, every one of my PhD students so far has done this event before they graduate. And it's compulsory. And my good friend and PhD student, Georgia Yakovlevich, has signed up to do it this January. So, can I suggest you say goodbye to him now, because you may not see him again. So you can get wet and muddy, it doesn't matter, you can still survive. I'm too busy, that's a good one, alright? That's the favourite one, isn't it? I'm too busy. Well, here's a guy.